Guys, am I really just wasting my time here? Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, I am just going to show you my apple trees. Yes, I am growing apple trees in South Florida. People will criticize me, saying I'm wasting my time. As you can see here, I'm inspecting my apples. Some have gone dormant, but this year they have not gone fully dormant, as in the resting phase during winter, where they shed off their leaves and become deciduous. As you can see, I poured ice and I even nicked my tree trunk there, and I poured some ice around the roots of the tree. I'm going to explain why I'm doing that this year as opposed to other years. That's a Dorset right here. I'll go back and review each type of apple tree I'm growing out here, and this is a huge experimental project that I'm undertaking. This comes from my experiences in the north, where I always saw everyone growing apple trees and they looked absolutely amazing, full of fruit. For us, we can't grow them here, per goes the legend, because it never gets too cold. We never really have any solid chill hours, and that's what causes blooming. And sometimes you just wish you had ice powers to make it a little bit colder. But since the cold front's come in, I'm taking advantage and dumping out my ice to keep the roots as cold as possible. Normally I would get ice water and just spray them with ice water to keep them cold. But as you can see, this year I'm doing a different approach. Normally most people, if they don't get enough chill hours in the area, will spray their apple trees with Dormex. I suspect that it's a soil issue that they need to get their cyanide from in order to leaf out and bloom properly. That is my theory, and I'm going to put it to practice here. This apple tree right here is actually a grafted Fuji. I actually grew a bunch of Fuji seedling apple trees, and they've been done really well, essentially crab apple trees. I kept them as cross pollinators, but this one was doing really good, so I grafted it onto the crab Fuji apple seedling, and the Fuji apple seedling is doing exceedingly well. It is disease resistant, as is the Fuji, so given the hot, humid climate, it's held up pretty well. And this is after a year of no spraying, so I haven't sprayed any of the apple trees, and you can see no pest damage and no leaf damage from any bacterial fungus. Next up is the King David apple tree that I'm growing out here. It is a relatively low chill hour variety. This variety looks promising. It has formed actually fruiting spurs on it, and it does leaf out properly. The next one here is an apple tree. It's an Israeli variety. This one is a golden delicious. And here is the Fuji original. I have 3 Fujis growing, and they grow quite properly and well, so they look promising. Next, I'm growing a Dorset apple tree. They do suffer from a red scab on leaves. The golden Dorset was actually developed off of the Bahamas, right off of South Florida, the coast of South Florida. It has 100 chill hours. It's the lowest chill hour variety and is the one that is guaranteed to do well in Florida. Although, given the humidity, it does form these red scabs. Granted, I haven't ever sprayed it. Next one up is one I grafted myself, as you can see here. It is the Pendragon apple tree. It is an old variety, English variety. It has a more of a rose-scented apple flavor and is noted as being one of the healthiest apples. As you can see here, within one growing season, the Pendragon apple tree has grown very well. It stopped growing, so I believe it's dormant. I like to keep my apple trees in a row and inspect them for bugs and whatnot. So I think this is going to be a promising project. I hope it is. So this vlog is to prove the naysayers wrong. At least for the time being, the apple trees that I've planted have grown and done well. They've formed fruiting spurs. Even the crab one here has a bunch of fruiting spurs on it, which will help pollinate the Fuji apple trees. So my goal here is hopefully to find a way to get them to bloom without chill. That is the objective. Without chemical spraying either. Here is a Macintosh apple tree, one of my favorite tasting ones. And I have another Fuji apple tree here right next to my avocados. And yes, I have a lot of avocados, and that's going to be on another video, I promise. And I have some peach trees, excuse me, some peach trees right next to it. I put a block of ice because it's so cold out, so hopefully it'll melt and cool off the roots, and also I don't have to water it. I do need to prune and spray apple trees this year, but I know it does take a while for them to grow. I have seen only one person in South Florida been able to get them to bloom, and that was not just the Dorset that I had, but also that I've seen a Honey Crisp apple tree bloom out here without any chill hours. So the concept of low and high chill hours for apple trees is not necessarily true. I am also trying my hand at genetically different varieties. As you can see, these seedlings. These seedlings are crosses between Gala, Cosmic Crisp, and even the Macintosh apple tree. You can see some are suffering from leaf curl, so they're not resistant. So I'm trying my hand to develop my own, given that apple trees are highly adaptive. They have a high adaptability to their environment. If you have any comments, positive comments, critiques, recommendations, and advice, please leave them in the comments below. I look forward to any of your recommendations to help me along, and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll keep you up to date. See you on the next one. Peace.